Hey everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is my first video, and to get things kicked off on this channel, I've decided to do a bit of a behind the scenes and show you what gear I usually take with me in my camera bag. So I recently changed my camera bag. I used to have an over-the-shoulder model, and I found that it caused a lot of shoulder pain because you're carrying a lot of weight on one shoulder. So when I switched bags, I decided I was going to look for a bag that was a backpack because the weight's more evenly distributed. So I went over to Amazon, I looked at a few bags, and the one that I finally decided on was from a brand called Lowpro. It's the Tahoe Lowpro bag. The reason I picked the bag was the price. It was £49. Now, in comparison to the amount that you pay for photography equipment, I mean, you can literally spend thousands of pounds on your camera and all your lenses. It was quite a cheap bag, only £49. So for me, that was a very good selling point, and that was one of the main reasons I got the bag in the first place. Also, I've used the bag a few times and I found that it's quite comfortable. It's also very durable. I've taken it on a few shoots in London and I haven't had any issues with it so far. And the third reason I like the bag is the size of the bag. It's a very small, compact bag. Now you may ask yourself,
but why would he want a small camera bag?
Well, the reason I picked such a small bag is because I'm the sort of person that if you give me a bag, I will fill that bag, regardless of how big it is. I'll put as much equipment in it as possible. So having a small bag, it makes me have to make decisions before a shoot. So I'll have to think to myself, am I doing a location shoot? Am I doing a studio shoot? And I'll have to pack accordingly. So I mean, there's some equipment that you would bring to a studio shoot that you wouldn't necessarily take on a location shoot. Like I usually don't take strobes on a location shoot, so I wouldn't need to have I usually carry a spare battery, so I wouldn't need to have the battery for my strobe in my bag. Also, I usually carry a reflector if I'm doing a location shoot with natural light, and I wouldn't take that to the studio because there'd be already that stuff in the studio. So there's slight differences depending on what sort of shoot you're doing. So let's get into what I've actually got inside my camera bag. So I'm a Sony shooter. I've been shooting with Sony cameras for the last 12 years. My first Sony camera was an Alpha 200, and I'm currently shooting with an Alpha 7 Mark III. I also have an Alpha 77 Mark II, and that's my backup camera. When I shoot with my Alpha 7 Mark III, I usually have a 28mm to 70mm lens attached to it. That's f3.5 to 5.6. I also make sure I've got at least one extra battery in my camera bag. You never ever want to do a shoot and run out of juice. So always have an extra battery. So I always have a light meter in my bag. I know the jury's out on whether or not you need a light meter because most cameras today are quite good at checking the exposure, but I found a light meter is more accurate than most cameras, even though my Sony A7 does an excellent job. I find having the light meter gives me the extra confidence to know that my photos will always be properly exposed. So in my studio, I usually shoot with Bowen's XMT 500 lights, and I always make sure that I've got a freshly charged battery with me because I never want to go in the studio and have a battery that's on the brink of dying. So I always make sure I've got one freshly charged with me in my camera bag. Also, I have a memory card case by GoFriend, and it carries 12 SDHC cards. Always have that with me, keeps them nice and secure, and it's better than just having memory cards in your bag because then they get damaged. So the last two items in my bag are, I have a blower by LensPen. It's basically just used to blow excess dust off the sensor and to keep the sensor clean so that you don't have specks of dust in the photos. And the weirdest item I have in my bag is probably my HDMI USB powered screen by Wamaxit. So most photographers will use a tether cable and a laptop. For the most part, I just use my HDMI screen because I've always had problems trying to tether my laptop. I find that sometimes the cord just pops out, or the software doesn't. With my A77 Mark II, I always had issues trying to sync up with my camera. So I found the HDMI cable, you just plug it in and you can see all the images, and it's great for reviewing with clients. I also use it when I'm on location. Because it's USB powered, I can just hook it up to my power bank and I immediately have a portable screen. So even when I'm on location, I can just plug it in and show the client the photos, and that's great. Hey, thank you for watching my first YouTube video. Please hit the like and subscribe button if you liked it, and please leave me a comment down below and let me know what you thought of the video and what you'd like to see next. Have a great day.